Hello, spooky misfits. This is Kate.
And this is Kevin.
Welcome to Halloween week at Horrorwood.
Ooh, Halloween.
Before we get into anything, have a new Patronian to shout out.
Hey.
Elliot Halperin, you are the newest Patronian on the Horrorwood Patreon.
Welcome, Elliot Halperin.
That was very Price is Right of me.
I love it. I think you should do that always.
Every single time we say a person's name.
Yeah.
You are the next murderina. Elliot, thank you so much for signing up. We truly appreciate your support.
Yes.
And we love an October Patronian. That's
100%.
just part of our vibe.
You're in the right place.
It is Halloween week out in these streets.
In these streets.
And I'm feeling all the spooky vibes. So I wanted to do something light. Something fun.
Okay.
Something a little spooky.
Spooky.
Since I'm in my Halloween era as well as my showgirl era over here, I have a fun little episode for you prompted by a Taylor Swift lyric.
Oh, shit.
In her new song, Elizabeth Taylor, she sings the line, "We hit the best booth at Musso and Frank's. They say I'm bad news. I just say thanks." So I thought I'd do an episode on Musso and Frank's. It's been used as a filming location for a gajillion things. It has ties to previous episodes we've done.
Wow.
And it's reportedly super haunted. The Musso and Frank Grill, sometimes called Musso and Frank's, often referred to as just Musso's, is the oldest restaurant in Hollywood.
Wow.
And has been a regular hotspot for celebrities for more than 100 years.
Shit.
She's been around. It all began with a French immigrant by the name of Furman, or Frank Toulet. He said, "I want to open a restaurant." So on September 27th, 1919, he opened what was then called Frank's Cafe, located at 6669 Hollywood Boulevard.
I mean, if you're going to add any other number to that, 9 is the best.
Soon he teamed up with Joseph Musso, an Italian immigrant who had been running a restaurant up in Oregon before moving to LA. So he knew the restaurant business, he knew what was up. The two men brought on French chef Jean Roux, who remained the head chef for 53 years.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Roux created the menu, which is mostly still the same today.
Really?
Yeah. Very little has changed on it.
Is it a French cuisine restaurant?
It's a steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
They have some French things on there. They mostly do old-timey steak, though.
Nice.
And yeah, they'll have a few updates here and there, but for the most part, it's what you would have gotten if you'd sauntered on in there in 1920.
Perfect.
Think martinis.
Yes.
Think leather booths, oakwood paneling, a mahogany bar where Taylor Swift pays a check before it kisses the mahogany grain. That is my last Taylor reference.
God.
Maybe. I don't know if I mentioned this, but eventually they changed the name from Frank's Cafe to the Musso and Frank Grill.
Got it.
Joseph Musso and Frank Toulet only owned the restaurant a few years before selling it in 1927 to Italian immigrants Joseph Carissimi and John Musso. Musso, not to be confused with Musso. They were no relation. I don't know why they only held on to it for a few years, but they were just we're done with this. So for decades, the restaurant was owned and operated by members of the Carissimi and Musso families until 2009, when the Carissimis sold their share to the Mussos. The Mussos still own it.
Wow.
So family owned and operated for generations.
Delicious. Have you been?
I've been, but not to eat. I was shooting something there.
Uh-huh.
I think I was doing stand-in work or something for Mad Men probably. And so I've been in there, but did not have the food. Matt has eaten there, though. He sat at Jack Nicholson's booth, which is tucked in the back. But yeah, I haven't actually had their food.
Okay. But you've been there.
Been there.
Did you feel any ghosts?
You know what? Here's the thing. When I lived in LA, I knew nothing about LA. Like, I didn't know the history.
Okay.
I didn't know all of the fun little, obscure stories that I now have learned. And I'm kind of bummed about that I never took the time to actually learn about where I was living, because I think I would have had a much deeper appreciation for it. I knew a couple of little things like, oh, this is where so-and-so liked to get a drink, or, things like that. But I never really got deep into the history there. And now that I'm older and I'm looking back and I've, started this podcast, and so I'm learning about all of these places and all of these people, it's like, shit, I wish I'd known that at the time,
Yeah. No, fair enough. I mean, hindsight is, what's the saying?
Hindsight is 20/20.
There we go.
You should know because you have 20/20 vision.
I don't think so anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you do either.
I need to go to an eye doctor.
That might be for the best. It does make me feel like I should focus a lot more on Chicago's history. Like, I know some things, but I don't go as deep into it as I do with LA, just because the entertainment industry stuff, a lot of it is based there.
Right.
Here, obviously, there's a lot, but I haven't really delved far deep into it, and I want to because I live here, and I need to be I need to know about where I'm living before it's too late and I've moved on somewhere and I look back and go, oh, I wish I'd known that was that place. You know what I mean?
100%. We should go to the Chicago History Museum.
We should. I've always wanted to.
I've been there multiple times, but never to go through it. It's always for a meeting or...
Oh, I was like, how do you go there and not go through it?
I just go and stand in front of it, and I'm like,
and then you're like, okay, here I am. And here I go. So in 1934, Carissimi and Musso moved the restaurant a door down to 6667 and built what was known as the back room. Basically, they just needed to expand, and 6669, I guess, wasn't big enough. So they just popped on over down a door and made a bigger room, and then also built this back room. The back room was very exclusive and private, honey. You could only get in it if you were one of Hollywood's elite.
Whoa.
Super exclusive. Just a few of the backroom patrons were Charlie Chaplin,
wow,
the Warner Brothers, Bogart, Sinatra, Brando, Marilyn Monroe, a who's who of celebrity clientele. Yeah. Eventually, the bar, the furniture, and the light fixtures of the back room were moved to what is now known as the new room. They lost their lease on the back room, had to close it. So they built another room, called it the new room. So you have the old room, which is what was moved from the original location. Mm-hmm. Then you have the new room next to it, which is essentially just another dining room. And they brought all of those pieces from the back room so you don't lose that history.
Got it.
Because the bar was where it was at. And the people that sat at that bar were legends.
Wow.
So that bar's still there. It's changed just slightly through the years, but the vibes and, like I said, the menu remain largely the same. Fun little trivia bit for you to stick in your belt or wherever you want to stick it. I'm not you. I don't know. The Musso and Frank Grill was the first restaurant in the United States to serve fettuccine Alfredo.
Delicious.
And it came about after Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks visited Rome while on their honeymoon in 1920. So the story goes that they dined at a restaurant originally called Alfredo. It was run by owner and head chef Alfredo Delelio. On the menu was a dish called fettuccine al triplo burro, which basically just means fettuccine with triple butter. So just a shit ton of butter.
Yes, please.
It came about after Alfredo's wife had given birth to their son and she didn't have an appetite anymore. Nothing sounded good to her. He'd make her some noodles with a little butter and Parmesan treat. And
Parmesan trees?
Can you imagine?
I just salivated a little bit.
I can tell.
Jesus.
So he would make her some noodles with a little butter and Parmesan cheese, and she'd be like, no thanks. So he was like, I know. What if I make noodles with 3 times as much butter? Turns out the wife, shockingly, thought noodles drenched in butter was fucking delicious.
And it is.
There's no cream. I think that was just an American thing that we were like, let's pour a bunch of heavy cream on there.
Cream. More fat.
It's just noodles mixed with a little pasta water, Parmesan cheese, and lots of butter.
That sounds really good.
He was like, awesome, I'm putting this on my menu. My wife wants it. Everyone's going to want it. So when Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks dined there, and Mary ordered the fettuccine al triplo burro, she was like, I need this all the time. So she went to the chef and she was like, Alfredo, darling, can you give me that recipe? And he was like, of course not. And she said, well, damn. So Pickford and Fairbanks, they went without their fettuccine for 7 years, when in 1927, they returned to Rome. They said, we got to go back to Alfredo's. We need that bowl of butter mixed with those little noodles, but we're coming prepared. So this time, they bribed Alfredo for the recipe. They had specially made a golden fork and spoon with the inscription, to Alfredo, King of the Noodles. And they presented him with this gift, and he holds these gold utensils in his hands, and he reads the lovely words inscribed on them, and he said, flattery will get you everywhere. Here's the recipe.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
A chef giving up a recipe.
Executive chef of something he created to be like, okay, yeah, sure, take it to another country and go nuts.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. But he was like, I got these gold utensils.
Look at these gold.
I'm the king of the
Yay!
noodles.
Just holding up like the utensils with noodles on them.
He's like, yes.
King of the Noodles is not a light title.
No. I mean, I should know because I'm queen of the noodles.
Right.
I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't. Did you know that there's a new little pasta place? It's called Pastify. And it's like...
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah. I looked at their menu and it looks pretty great. I guess it's a restaurant chain that started in Kosovo.
Oh.
And now is like moved to Chicago, and they have plans to branch out nationally. Let's go to Pastify.
Woo! So we have Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks to thank for bribing a chef in Rome and bringing fettuccine to the United States.
Thanks, Pickford.
So fun fact, when this episode gets released, I'm actually going to be in Italy.
Kate's in Italy. When you're listening to this, well, if you listen when it comes out or around when it comes out, Kate's in Italy right now.
Having the most amazing vacation of my life, trip of a lifetime. Can't wait to tell you guys all about it. Wish you were all here in Italy with me.
I just imagined you walking down the street in Rome or like Florence, and you've got 2 handfuls of pasta.
I'm like, I'm queen of the noodles. So if time allows, I'm going to try to go to this restaurant. It's still there. I mean, Alfredo's not. He's long gone. But the restaurant is still there. So wish me luck. I'm going to bring all of you leftovers, and I can't wait to share.
Yay.
Can we just pause? I'm fucking loving your fingernails.
Oh, thanks.
You flashed them around, and I was like, love them. Kevin's got his fingernails painted. Are they black or blue?
They are blue sparkle.
Blue sparkle, and they're divine.
I got a manicure yesterday.
Like a real
Like a
one?
real
Like,
one.
nice.
Yeah, someone else did this, which is why it looks really good.
It looks so good.
Yeah, she was great.
All right. In the 1930s, talkies were taking over the screens, and the studios needed writers. So they began to recruit some of the country's greatest authors. At the time, the Screen Writers Guild, which is now Writers Guild of America, it was right across the street from the Musso and Frank Grill. And next door to the restaurant was a popular bookstore called the Stanley Rose Bookshop. So some of the biggest writers in history, like F. Scott Fitzgerald, William Faulkner, Dorothy Parker, Raymond Chandler, were mainstays at Musso's.
Okay.
F. Scott Fitzgerald used to proofread his novels in the back room. William Faulkner would mix his own mint juleps. Like, they'd all just be hanging out at the bar. So the bar that is in what's now called the New Room. It's that same bar. The writers often didn't like writing in the offices at the Writers Guild because, you know, they've got their bosses like breathing down their necks. So instead, they'd go to the back room of Musso's, sit at the bar or a booth and write and drink and talk. Then they'd make their way next door to the bookshop. And then once the bookshop closed, they'd head back over to Musso's, grab a nightcap, just close the night out. So Musso and Frank is featured in several literary works. And Raymond Chandler wrote a lot of The Big Sleep while sitting at Musso's. He wrote the novel, The Big Sleep, which was later turned into a movie starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Bogart, I mentioned earlier, was a regular at the restaurant. He always sat at the bar, and he'd go there with his stunt double after shooting. Lauren Bacall would be at home wondering why he wasn't home yet. So she'd call up Musso's asking for him. Like she knew, oh, he's not here. Oh, I bet he's at the bar at Musso's. But Bogart didn't want to talk to her. So he'd have his stunt double get on the line and tell her he wasn't there. Isn't that fucked up?
That's crazy.
Yeah. That stunt double is the father of the man who is now the restaurant's executive chef, J.P. Amato.
Dang.
Amato is only the third executive chef in the history of the restaurant, which says a lot.
That is insane.
Yes. Like they're not turning over chefs and like trying all these new people out. It's like they know what they want. They find quality and that person stays. They don't want to go anywhere.
That's great.
And the servers and bartenders often stay for years, if not decades.
Well, could you imagine the amount that they probably make in tips?
Oh, insane.
Hundreds.
Insane. And it sounds like they're very well taken care of there by the employers, by the Musso family, by their customers. There's a lot of regulars. It's actually a lot of locals.
Sure.
Some tourists, but it's mostly like the local hang. So a lot of those servers, you know, they've been doing it for decades. They know these people. They become friends, you know, and they become family.
That's a great gig for those workers because in an industry that, notoriously treats people like shit.
Yeah.
Great. I love that.
Yeah. The staff there, the waiters wear red tuxes, like red tux jackets.
Ooh.
I think it's the bartenders that wear green. But they might also wear red. But like, yeah, it's like fine dining, very private. Mm-hmm. They don't reveal who their celebrity clientele is during that time. Like they'll talk about people from the past and some current people like Tarantino. Tarantino fucking loves Musso's. He'll talk about it. So if a celebrity talks about going there, then they will confirm, like, yes, that person goes here. And when Taylor Swift dropped that line, the Google search for Musso and Frank's went bananas.
Oh, shit. They're about to get railed.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong word. They're about to get,
But we know what you meant. And yes. But because she said that she did go there, I think his name's Mark Echevarria. He's like the great grandson of John Musso. Not Musso, sorry, John Musso. He said, yes, I can confirm that she does come here and people want to know what booth she's talking about. Because when she says the best booth, so everyone's like been asking them, well, what booth is she talking about? And he won't say. He'll just say she has sat in various booths. And that's all I will say. So they're very discreet. Like they don't let the press in. They keep the paparazzi away. Don't even think about asking for an autograph. Don't try to get a picture. Like it's kind of like Soho House a little bit where like everyone is respectful.
Good.
Yeah. If you know, you know. You don't go in the front door. Like you don't walk in just off Hollywood Boulevard. There's a back entrance. And so you go through the back. They say, well, the tourist will go through the front door, but no one who actually is a regular there ever goes through the front door, which I just thought was kind of like a fun little. Yeah.
Well, it's nice that they value the privacy of their clients.
Absolutely.
You can't say that for a lot of other places. It's a rare find.
I think especially because it's been an establishment that has been there for so long, that's part of why it's lasted, because celebrities know that they're safe there.
Yeah.
Whereas other places, once it becomes hot, then those celebrities don't go there anymore.
Nope.
All right. In 2019, the year of Musso's 100th anniversary, they lost two of its longtime staff members. Ruben Rueda, who'd tended bar there for 52 years.
Jeez.
Died of natural causes, and Sergio Gonzalez, who'd been a waiter there for 47 years, died of a heart attack just one day after the memorial for Ruben. So those guys had some stories.
I can imagine.
Sergio was the Rolling Stones' favorite server. They always asked for him whenever they were there, and they actually flew him to Mexico City to attend one of their concerts. I think it was Keith Richards' assistant who just called Sergio up and was like, hey, make sure you have your passport. You're going to be going to the concert. And Sergio was just like, okay.
Great.
They put him up in the Four Seasons, which was where they were staying. He was like, I felt like a king. And he was their waiter, you know? And Ruben, the bartender, considered Keith Richards a friend. And so one day he asked, hey, Keith, if I go and buy a guitar, would you mind signing it for me? And when I say they don't allow autographs, I'm talking about like patrons. Like these guys, they had known each other for years. Mm-hmm. And Keith was like, don't buy one. I'll get it for you. So a couple of years go by. Ruben's forgotten all about asking him that.
Yep.
Then suddenly in walks Keith Richards one day with an autographed electric Gibson guitar. And he hands it to Ruben and says, here's your damn guitar. Amazing. Just imagine Keith Richards just handing you a signed guitar.
I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be like, I don't think it's not real.
He once, or I should say Ruben once had to throw Steve McQueen out because McQueen drank too much and was trying to start fights with other customers.
Oh, dear.
And McQueen came back the next day and apologized.
Wow.
And Ruben was like, from now on, if you want to sit at my bar, you're going to behave yourself.
Lock it in. Crack down the law.
Crack down the law. But some of my favorite stories have to do with writer Charles Bukowski. I was such a Bukowski fan, especially when I was in college. He was a regular at Musso and Frank's. He would often drink too much, so Ruben would have to drive him home. And one of these times, Bukowski puts his foot up on the dashboard of Ruben's car. And when Ruben pressed the brakes, Bukowski's foot kicked through the windshield.
Oh, my God.
And broke it. And Ruben said, you're going to have to pay me for that. And Bukowski told him, yeah, I'll get your money. Never paid him.
No.
But that's very Bukowski.
Okay.
Sonny Donato, who bartends currently, first met Bukowski not at Musso's, but just while he was out one night. And Sonny had gone to a bar and had chatted briefly with Bukowski there. And then at the end of the night, he left and realized he'd left his radio behind. Like he'd brought a little portable radio with him. So he went back to get it, but the bar was closed. The doors were locked. He was like, damn, I want my radio. Then he hears music coming from the alley. So he walks around the corner, and there's Charles Bukowski just sitting on the ground, holding the radio, listening to music. And it's raining, and he's just sitting there. So Sonny was like, oh, hey, I left that radio behind. I just came back to get it. And Bukowski goes, it's my radio now, kid.
Oh, my God.
Fucking love Bukowski.
What crazy.
Oh, he's wild. He's so nitty gritty. Like, I love him.
Okay.
But one of my favorite stories comes from Sergio, that waiter.
Yes.
Back in the early 80s, there was this young guy trying to get acting work. He had no money. He had no phone. There was a payphone at Musso and Frank's, said to be the first public payphone in Hollywood, which is kind of cool. So this actor guy, or struggling actor, gave the number of the Musso and Frank payphone to his agents so that if they needed to call him about an audition, there was a way of reaching him. So this kid, or he wasn't really a kid, he was like late teens, early 20s. He would just sit at Musso's all day drinking coffee, just waiting to see if his agent would call with an audition or waiting to see if he heard back about an audition. Then one day the phone rang. It was his agent telling him he was being offered a role in a movie, and it was his first on-screen credit. And the film was A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hey!
And the actor was Johnny Depp. And Depp continued to frequent Musso's even after he became famous, and Sergio said that Depp and Keith Richards were the best tippers out of all the customers he had served in almost 5 decades.
Damn.
That phone booth is still there. It's in the back of the restaurant. It's not operational anymore, but it's where we get our first ghost sighting.
Ghosties in the phone booth.
Ghosties in the phone booth.
Making the calls from beyond the grave.
The spirit of Rudolph Valentino.
Rudy Valentino.
Your boy.
My boy. Love
has
him.
been spotted hanging out by the phone booth. According to U.S. Ghost Adventures, witnesses describe seeing a, quote, sharply dressed man with classic 1920s features.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what 1920s features are, but he had them.
They must have been different.
And they were classic. But as they get closer to him, he'll just vanish. Because you can't just stick around and wait to talk to people. Like, he's got things to do, you know?
Right.
Both customers and staff members claim they've seen him sitting back there and smiling at the ladies as they walk by. And Kevin.
Well, but he was like probably gay.
Well, I couldn't remember if he was.
I think so. I'm almost positive.
Maybe he was bi.
It was contention. Okay, it's coming back to me now. I think he might have been bi, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Well, then he's smiling at everybody because
Yeah.
he's a show person.
He's not causing any harm.
No.
He's a flirty ghost.
He's a flirty hot ghost.
He's like, hey guys, sup? Hey girls, sup? Valentino used to frequent the restaurant with Charlie Chaplin and Douglas Fairbanks. Back then, Hollywood Boulevard was just a dirt road, which is crazy to even think about now. Like, Hollywood Boulevard's like insane. It's like Times Square, kind of.
Yeah.
On a different level, but it's wild. But back then, dirt road. And Chaplin and his friends would ride their horses to Musso's, and they'd have a race, and whoever got there last had to pick up the bill. Charlie Chaplin always sat in booth number 1 in the old room. It is the only booth that has a window looking out onto the road, and it's kind of tucked into the corner, so it's easy to walk past if you're just walking into the restaurant and you don't know it's there, because you have to, like, if I remember correctly, you have to, like, go in and it's, like, to the left and kind of inset. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It is the most requested booth at the restaurant, and several people claim to have seen an image that looks like Chaplin sitting in the booth, looking out the window.
Hey.
Some even say that when they take photos of the booth, there are orbs that appear on the picture. Because, yeah, people do sneak photos. I don't think they're taking pictures of celebrities.
Right, if it's harmless to people.
Yeah. And maybe they've relaxed their photos rule or whatever, but I think that booth is often photographed because it was Charlie Chaplin's. It is the most popular booth. The regulars at the restaurant, because, like I said, they have a lot of regulars. They've been going there for years, decades. They say Chaplin's energy is particularly strong in the early afternoon, which makes sense because he was usually there for lunch. And customers who have dined in that booth have reported a sudden drop in temperature. They'll be like, did the air conditioning just kick into high gear? Like, why is it freezing suddenly? It's because Charlie's there.
Charlie's there having lunch. And he's like, I'm going to make it cold in here.
I'm going to make it cold in here. Brr.
Oh.
Some also say that when they sit there, they feel like someone's watching them. It's me. I'm waiting to see if they order the fettuccine Alfredo.
All right.
Can I have a bite?
Oh my God. Kate haunts Italian restaurants all over the
Can you imagine? I wish. Matt did have the fettuccine because I was telling him about that. And
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, I had that there. He said it was delicious. Now we all know that a haunted place isn't really haunted unless it has a lady in white.
Lady in white.
And in the case of Musso and Frank's, that lady is Jean Harlow.
Jean.
Hey,
girl.
Hey, what's up? She was a regular at the restaurant and apparently doesn't want to leave. She's usually seen late at night or when it's not as busy. She likes the quieter hours. She likes a little peace and calm. And employees and customers have described seeing what looks like an ethereal, pale woman in vintage clothing, because they're always in vintage clothing, gliding through the dining room, stopping briefly at her old booth before fading away.
Disappear.
Whoosh. In addition to feeling a sudden chill, there's the scent of perfume that wafts past as she moves through the room.
I love that. That's amazing. I was just imagining her ghost like swooshing over to a table with the fettuccine, and she grabs it and disappears, and as she disappears you hear yum. Delicious.
More butter. The wildest ghost tale is that of the headless spirit. The body's there, but no head.
No head. Where'd the head go?
We don't know. It doesn't glide like Jean. It darts wildly
Ew.
throughout the restaurant.
Okay, well, that's not great.
It's creepy. It has the fewest number of sightings, but those who have seen it say that along with it, there's a sudden drop in temperature and an overwhelming feeling of dread.
Ooh.
So that's one you maybe don't want to run into. You can say hi to Valentino. He'll give you a little smile, a little winky winky.
Jean will float by.
Yeah, she'll smell so good.
Mhm.
Charlie's just staring out the window, maybe checking for his horses. But if you see a torso flying around, beware.
Ah, duck.
In an August 1999 issue of LA Magazine, writer Joshua Tompkins sat down with self-proclaimed psychic to the stars, Kenny Kingston,
Ooh.
at Musso and Frank's. They met there on a Tuesday evening for dinner because Tompkins wanted to see if Kingston picked up on any spirits. Kingston, who's now deceased, claimed that high-profile stars sought him out for his work as a psychic medium. These stars included Greta Garbo, Marilyn Monroe, and much of the British royal family, according to Kingston.
Okay, well, okay.
On this particular night at Musso's, spirits of celebrities were out. They were active. They were popping.
They are putting on musical numbers.
They were like, woo!
Ooh.
Give me that fettuccine. Many of Hollywood's elite who had passed on just happened to be at the restaurant on this particular night.
They followed Kingston.
Yeah. Tompkins and Kingston are sitting there chatting, and all of a sudden, Kingston stops and says, "See that man? There was a man scratching his neck." And then he began scratching his nose. And Kingston asked, "Do you know why he's doing that?" "It's because Errol Flynn is standing behind him, tickling him with a feather," according to Kingston.
That's wild. Kingston was at his Ouija board like the night before, like, come to Musso and Frank's.
Bring it. I want this article written about me.
Okay, well.
Then Kingston, there's more.
Oh,
Then Kingston
God.
turned toward a table where 4 men were sitting and says, "Oh, Lionel Barrymore is sitting there with them." Then he goes, "Orson Welles and Charles Laughton are sitting at the bar." And then, "Oh, next to Orson is Carol Lombard fighting a woman for control of a bar stool." So there was a lot happening that night at Musso's. The spirits, I'm telling you, they had a lot to say.
They were just mad
do.
that he was there.
He was seeing ghosts left and right. He went on and on. For the record, I don't think Kenny Kingston was legit. I think he knew how to entertain for profit. But I'm linking the LA Magazine article if you want to read it. It's bananas.
Okay.
He just names
He just
every
names
single
people.
celebrity that could have possibly walked through the door. And he was like, "Yep, there he is."
I want to see if I can make a living as a celebrity psychic.
I mean, go for it. Many people have.
I know.
You probably have as much skill as they do.
I
too.
know. Sylvia Brown was my favorite when I was younger. She was on Montel.
I
had all
feel,
of her
oh,
books.
wait, is she the one? Wasn't she the one who would like tell people that, "Oh, your loved one is in water"? Like she was.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, she's a fuck
She
nut.
had like bangs and like longer hair. She was an older lady.
And she would like, I mean, she can get so fucked. She would tell people like, "The reason you can't find your child is because he's alive." It's like, oh, no, he's not.
No, sweetheart.
Yeah, she was not good. All right, David Lynch, who just passed away this
Whoa.
year, used to go to Musso's all the time. He met and befriended John P. St. John, who was a big deal officer in the LAPD. He was badge number 1 in robbery homicide, meaning that when he retired, he had the highest seniority in the LAPD.
Damn.
He worked on some of the biggest high-profile homicide cases, including Night Stalker Richard Ramirez, the Hillside Stranglers, and William Bonin, the freeway killer. St. John got a tip and tracked Bonin down and captured him. So St. John is a big deal.
Big name.
One of his earliest cases was the Black Dahlia, which he continued working on up until his death. One day, he calls up his buddy David Lynch and says, "Hey, I'd love to take you out to dinner. I've got something to show you." So they go to Musso and Frank's. After they finish eating dinner, St. John says, "All right, I have something in my briefcase here. I want you to take a look at it." He opens up his briefcase and pulls out an 8x10 glossy black and white photo, and it's a very clear picture of the body of Elizabeth Short lying in the grass. Elizabeth Short is the Black Dahlia, in case anyone out there forgot her name.
Right.
St. John says, David, what do you see? And Lynch said he stared at the photo for probably 10 minutes. And finally he was like, what? I don't get it. Like, what am I supposed to be seeing? St. John just smiled, put the photo away, and never mentioned it again. And Lynch said it wasn't until later, when he was thinking about it, that it dawned on him the photo St. John showed him was taken at night, and her body wasn't discovered until the morning. Which makes me think, does that mean whoever did it photographed her after killing her?
Oh my God.
Who took that photo? How did St. John get the photo? It leaves more questions than answers, and the fact that he never brought it up again is wild to me.
That is insane. I'm also wondering if that's what kind of inspired Dante's Peak. Wait, no, Dante's Peak is about volcanoes.
Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks.
So David Lynch, there is another story about that where he met with, I forgot the person's name. Dang, but anyway, they met at Musso and Frank's and developed one of the Twin Peaks iterations. I didn't put that story in here, so I have forgotten the details of it. But yeah, Musso and Frank's definitely played a big part in his life. Another case that the restaurant is kind of tied to, in a way, if you remember back to the case I covered on Christian Brando and the murder of Dag Drolet, I think it was called The Murder at Marlon Brando's House. So this took place back in May of 1990. What prompted the murder was Christian and his half-sister Cheyenne had gone out to dinner, and Cheyenne told him that Dag was physically abusing her. Later that night, Christian went back to his dad's, where Cheyenne and Dag were also staying, and Christian shot and killed Dag. The restaurant where Cheyenne and Christian had dinner that night and had this fateful conversation was Musso and Frank's.
Wow.
So Christian then left Musso's, went to Marlon Brandon's house, killed Dag Drolet.
Shit.
So the place definitely has a storied history, for show. And as I said at the top, it's been used in several shows and movies. Ed Wood, Ocean's 11, Swingers, Mad Men, La La Land, Scandal, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Because like I said, Quentin Tarantino loved him some Musso and Frank's. What's cool is that productions tend to use the restaurant's actual waiters and bartenders.
Cool.
So like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Sonny, who I mentioned earlier, the one that got his radio stolen by Charles Bukowski, he's the bartender serving Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt in the film. And Sergio is their waiter. So it's just a fun
That's fun.
thing.
I love that. Some nice trivia.
Yeah. So I would say make a reservation for a table, although soon it might be pretty hard to do because
Taylor,
when she mentioned something. But I don't know, because I did look last night and just to see, and like I said, I'm not here right now. I'm in another country, so we're recording this early. But when I looked last night, I was like, I just wonder what reservations are like. And I put in for either last night or tonight. And I was able to get a table at 6 p.m. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Well,
so
hey.
Maybe you can still get a seat.
Fantastic.
Charlie Chaplin's booth was booth number 1. Marilyn Monroe's favorite booths that she would go there with Joe DiMaggio. That was booth number 3. Those are in the old room. The bar, though, in the new room is where I hear it's at. Like, that is where so much history is. I mean, the whole place has a lot of history, but if you do go, maybe just try to cozy up to the bar at some point just so you can kind of experience it.
Yeah.
And I hope that you are all having a fantastic Halloween week. Have a very happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I think our Patronians might be getting a bonus Halloween episode.
Yeah, it's coming from me.
It's coming from me. That sounded like you're about to give birth to it.
I will.
So that's exciting. And eat all the candy, have all the fun, wear all the costumes, and just be very safe. And you can leave us your comments if you've been to Musso's or if you have your own little story to tell. We'd love to hear it. So you can comment on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify at
Horrorwood Podcast.
Or you can send us an email at
horrorwoodpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you want me to say your name in a very Price is Right way, you can be like Elliot Halperin, the newest murderino on Horrorwood Patreon.
Come on over.
And you can do that at
Patreon.com/horrorwoodpodcast.
That's it. Happy Halloween, everybody!
Ooh, spooks.
Ooh, spooks.